Alright guys, I just finished Valkyria Chronicles a few hours ago. So, yeah, let's do this. Alright, so Valkyria Chronicles is a turn-based strategy RPG for the PS3. It was released maybe, I think 2 years ago. I think it was in '08 when it came out. So yeah, it took me 32 hours and 26 minutes to beat just the single player. You do have a couple side things like skirmish missions. Those are basically, you can replay some of the old levels you did and just gain money and experience that way. So if you're ever having trouble on a level, you can just go back and do that, which I think I played maybe one or two of those missions and I didn't feel that the experience and money was worth it, like spending like 10 to 20 minutes doing. So yeah, skirmish is pretty cool and everything, but alright, so this is a pretty lengthy game. It took me like 3 or 4 days to beat. I played it a lot actually, but let me start off saying that the gameplay, it is really unique. The way it works is you go into a mission, alright, and the way it works is it shows a top-down like view of the map, and you have little circles like indicating your units and the enemy units. So what you do is you click, let's say you click like your sniper, it like zooms down into him, and then you have basically this little time bar at the bottom of the screen. You can do anything you want within that time. You get one attack, or one grenade throw, or one heal. Or if you're an engineer, you can repair. Then you get like small little things like that. And depending on the unit, you have a smaller time bar. So like snipers, for example, they can't move very far, but they have like a really wide range. They can shoot from really far away. So once that time runs out, you can either attack, heal, throw a grenade, heal a vehicle or something like that. So once you end your turn, it zooms back out, and on the map again, you basically have these things called command points. They're basically these little emblems, and depending on which units you take into battle, the more CP you have. So for example, let's say you're using like, you'll have like, what are they called? They're like commander units, I guess. Basically they're like plot related characters usually, like Alicia. You don't have to bring her into battle, but if you do, you'll get an extra CP point, and you know that's always good and all that. So basically, you can also stock up your CP by ending your turn early and stuff like that. So once you find out the strategy for the map, you usually want to build up your CP, then like try to rush it. At least that was my strategy. I would usually play defense in the first round, then like save up my CP, then just go on an all-out attack against the enemy. And I mean, there's a limit to CP. There's only 30 CP I think you can have at a time. 20 or 30, I forget, but whatever. So yeah, the story, it's pretty decent. It's like I guess it's like an alternate World War II. Basically, instead of gasoline and all that being like discovered and working and shit, they use ragnite. It's basically this blue energy substance and crystal, and they just use that to pretty much fuel everything: grenades, medicine, like tanks. It's like basically oil and all this crazy stuff. Pretty much your village gets attacked in the beginning of the game. You're like this college student and you're just on your way back home when it happens, and you meet this girl who's in the militia, and pretty much your hometown gets killed, so you join the militia to go take out the Empire, and you become the commander of your unit, Squad 7. And throughout the game, you're just trying to stop the Empire and all that. I do have a few complaints. The accuracy, when you zoom down into the combat field, basically you run around in third-person view, right? And when you hit R1 to open up your crosshair, it's like sometimes your aim, it's not good at all. Like mainly with snipers and lancers, which are your RPG guys, you'll shoot in one direction and it just goes like flying off into like nowhere pretty much, and I never really found a way to get around that. Like it was just bullshit, and it wasn't like a leveling up issue, it seemed like, because I mean I got my guys all up to like level 12, 13ish, and the accuracy still sucked like it did when I first started using that unit. So I didn't really like the accuracy system. It didn't feel like there was any improvement even later after they're leveled up. So pretty much the accuracy is a thumbs down in my opinion. Also towards the end of the game, the missions just get so like trial and error. Like the first how should I explain it? The way the game works is the story's told through a book. Within the book, each page has a couple of images. Usually there'll be cutscene, 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 then level or mission or whatever. And you basically have 15 of these chapters, 16 actually, I think. And what happens is the last 2 chapters, it's so like trial and error. Like what I mean by that is, you'll go into a mission, you won't know that something comes out later in the mission, so you will just like think that the end of the mission that it's telling you is not actually the end of the mission. So you'll waste like all your guys like doing something, and then like right out of nowhere, all of a sudden this big guy comes out of nowhere and fucks you up. Or then like in a certain situation, like let's say later in this mission, there's like these 6 energy reds. You're supposed to break them to hurt the enemy, and I didn't know you were supposed to like the damage is healed every turn, so you have to kill them in 1 turn pretty much. So I spent like half an hour just thinking I was damaging them, and it doesn't even tell you that you're damaging them. So inevitably I had to look up a guide on how to kill them, and found the easiest way and how to use that. And I don't know, it's bullshit that you have to do that. And like I don't know, just the final mission was ass. I don't like trial and error. I think a game should be based on skill and adaptability. So yeah, the last 2 levels, nah. The audio, I have a big problem with new games. They don't try to innovate in the music category. It's always orchestrals, like violins, some fluties, and some. It's just so. I don't even know how to describe it. I just don't like it. I want some guitars thrown in there too, and some good music. Some like, I don't know. Orchestral music is a thumbs down at least for me. And the graphics are beautiful. Oh my god. Cell shade, like this is like really good cell shading. So yeah, it took me 32 hours, 26 minutes. I would definitely say rent it. Don't buy it unless you see it for maybe $20 or so, if you deem that's a good value. But it's a pretty fun game though.